We're still in Larchmont. We're outside today because the weather is beautiful at the end of November, and we're having a white wine, Condrieu, by Chèze. This one of his two Condrieu. This one is Pagus Luminis, 2015. Condrieu, as you know, is 100% Viognier. It's a northern, just absolutely at the top of the Northern Rhône vineyard region. So it's north of basically Côte-Rôtie and all the other stuff. And so if you go any further north, now you're like at the bottom of the Beaujolais and then the Mâconnais and Burgundy. So Condrieu is a very well-defined area. I don't really know much about Condrieu or about Chèze, but I figured I'd try this. I bought it a couple of years ago, and it's something that I think it's high time to drink. It wasn't supposed to really age for very long, but again, that's the stuff I read. I've had some Viognier before, and it has a very distinctive sort of taste and nose, and let's see if we have it here. On the color, this is, as you can see, really nice pale gold, really light, but very uniform, very clear, very appealing from a color point of view. Probably lighter than some other Chardonnay, but darker than others. Anyway, so I think it's in the middle of that sort of spectrum, Chardonnay, Viognier coloring. On the nose, it's very fruity. Fruity meaning the sort of soft, what I would call soft sweet fruit, like apricot, peach. Some of that vanilla you get in Chardonnay and Viognier. And a little bit of acidity, although not a lot. Again, it's just more floral, fruity, just kind of perfume, like I don't know what, jasmine, maybe a little bit, or something like that. Something very aromatic, but not overly, not chemical. Not overly strong in that way. This is the end of the bottle, so I've been drinking over the last few days, and it's sort of grown on me. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Let's just taste it. The mouth on the attack is really beautiful. It's just got that freshness, that acidity, that minerality that you would expect in a nice Viognier. A little bit, I like to say it's got a little bit of that stainless steel taste, but it's probably more the minerality than anything else. Not that stainless steel has any taste. And then it's just sort of really pleasant, although it's a little bit less enjoyable than a bouquet. The finish I find a little bit disappointing. I just think somehow, not that it's not there, it is there, but it's not as buttery as you would expect. It's a little bit sharp, a little bit bitter, just a little bit, and I'm a little surprised because a lot of the comments on this wine talk about the finish, and so maybe I'm missing something here. But it's a funny kind of way in terms of progression. I think the bouquet is the best. The mouthfeel is nice. It's just a little bit down from there, and the finish is probably the last. So it's kind of an interesting progression, maybe in the wrong direction, but the bouquet alone sometimes is very nice in a wine like this. You can just enjoy it while you're holding onto your glass during an evening or an afternoon. Condrieu is not a cheap wine in general, so you know if you have to sort of like Viognier and like the history of the region, but it can be very, very good. And this is something I would put for a Condrieu is probably a good. It's like $45 kind of thing retail, although you have, when it first comes out, it's listed more like as a $60, $70 wine. I don't think it's worth that. But $45, I think it's a very good quality entrance sort of into the Condrieu world. Anyway, cheers, and we'll speak again soon.